Hey everyone, welcome back. Are you struggling with the Nemeth Schweizer 300? If you are, ride along with me while I do some hover work in the four corners exercises, and I have the input viewer on so you can see what my controls are doing while I'm doing work in the circle. The first thing that you need to do when you're learning how to hover helicopters is throw out everything you know about airplanes. They are completely different, they are inherently unstable. They do not want to stay in one place. So the controls are never a set it and forget it. You can't move the controls and stop thinking about it. It is a constant adjustment. You move the controls, move it back, move the controls, move it back. You want to anticipate what the helicopter is doing, stay ahead of the aircraft, and adjust the controls accordingly. It's also a good idea to set up wind when you're working on learning how to hover. A good 4 knot to 5 knot wind is good to start with. Preferably not a gust. You can start to set the gusts because that is a little more realistic. The winds are going to vary a little bit, and that is part of the challenge of learning how to handle hovering a helicopter. Now, there are surfaces, control surfaces, just like on the airplane, on the helicopter, that are designed to make it a little bit more stable. So it does hover more stable, nose into the wind. And you'll notice that going through the exercises in the four corner, that maybe some of the control inputs are not what you might be expecting. So also realize that not only am I anticipating the helicopter's movements in correlation to the aerodynamic forces that are in effect as you move the controls, but I'm also accounting for the wind and how the helicopter is responding to the wind. One of the more challenging aspects of flying the helicopter in a sim versus real life is the flex of the skids. And you can kind of see it in the pickups and the set downs. The skids in the body of the helicopter in the sim almost seem a little more rigid, and they don't flex the same. There's actually, you have a little bit more response, and you can kind of tell what's happening in a real helicopter. It flexes a little bit more before the skids ever leave the ground and the friction contact is lost. So you can actually have a little bit more of a sense of how to get the helicopter stable before you break the ground contact in a two-stage pickup. That's harder to do in the sim because you really can't feel it, you can't sense it. So that is one of the more difficult areas in the sim. Keep practicing and don't give up. Even when you're in one of your practice sessions and it feels like the helicopter is getting out of control, don't give up. Get it back under control. Stay on top of it and then try to get back ahead of the aircraft. You're flying the machine is not flying you. If you find yourself being frustrated and you're not having fun, take a break. Remember why you're here. And then come back to it. Come back to it hopefully refreshed and give it another chance. Hovering a helicopter is a very, very difficult thing to do. It's even more difficult to do it in a sim when you are at a disadvantage, and possibly even more disadvantage depending on your control setup. You can have a more realistic control setup or a less realistic control setup, and that will have an effect on how quickly you can learn. So give yourself time and be patient. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. Be safe, be kind, and I'll see you in the next video.